Education is most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world. Teachers are the heroes of that change. Therefore, today, this space is reserved to talk about the importance of teaching as an international internship opportunity for graduates and undergraduates who wish to gain a professional experience. A very good evening. I'm Samadhi Vijayatunga, B2C Coordinator, OGX of AIESEC University of Kelaniya. To start off, let me briefly introduce the AIESEC organization. AIESEC is a global youth-led organization that strives to achieve peace and fulfillment of humankind's potential by engaging and developing every young person in the world with the unique leadership development model. For now, the introduction of outgoing global talent, we will move to a small watcher video.
If there is one thing that our generation dislikes the most is monotony, one of the declared enemies of happiness at work. Hectic schedules, unexpected projects, deadlines you can barely keep up with at the same place with the same people will surely lead you to an early midlife crisis. Are you at that place where you want to immerse yourself in a new environment filled with new opportunities, but too afraid to make that investment in your future? You must have had dreams about traveling abroad, embracing a new culture of a foreign land. But do you feel as if you are too late and too old to pursue those dreams because a break from your routine job will make you fall behind in this rat race? Do you think there is a way you can have it all? An internship abroad is the perfect change you need, the perfect break you need, because there's nothing monotonous about stepping out of your comfort zone to explore a whole new culture. It will provide you with the best opportunity to develop and inculcate global and professional skills while receiving all the primary benefits of being abroad. Given how the world is interconnected, it is important to learn the ropes of how different cultures approach business. Regardless of the stage of your career, the invaluable experience you gain by working in an international company with foreign professionals will broaden your perspectives, which will ultimately help you succeed in the corporate ladder. Needless to say, having done an internship abroad will make your resume stand out from the rest. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra. So, are you brave enough to take that risk and make that choice? Because it only has to happen right once.
Outgoing global talent. Here we create an international work experience within a corporate abroad where youth can explore and learn the global industry and similarly bring down youth from abroad to Sri Lanka to work in our industries such as engineering, management, IT, and business administration. Also, in Outgoing Global Teacher, we develop leadership while boosting career prospects with an opportunity to work as a teacher and for foreigners to come and teach in Sri Lanka. Next, I would like to invite Charit Priyashan, the National Project Manager for Outgoing Global Teacher, to welcome you all. Charit, the floor is yours.
A very pleasant evening to all of you joining us today. I am Charit Priyashan, the National Project Manager for Outgoing Global Teacher and the Chief Organizer of Project Global Teacher TV. Foremost, I would like to warmly welcome Mr. Nilanka Suryampala, our guest speaker, and our panelists, Ms. Ramsi Samrasinghe and Ms. Jeetni Herath. and our country president, Mr. Sisitha Gayara, country president-elect, Mr. Vanuka Haturusingha, and National Director for Outgoing Global Teacher, Mr. Pasan Vijayawardena, and all the national directors in AIESEC Sri Lanka for your help and your presence at the talk show and for having confidence upon us. Project Global Teacher to Be is an initiative which was designed to screen the best potential teachers who wish to pursue their career abroad and to give them a chance to experience through cultural while letting them explore the leader in them. This talk show is specially conducted to provide an insight about our internship programs. AIESEC has succeeded in assisting teachers to foreign internship opportunities since the beginning of AIESEC. Joining us today are two of our successors willing to provide you with insight while sharing their stories and experiences. After all, as Penelope Douglas once said, experience is the best teacher. Thank you so much. Over to you, Samadhi.
Thank you, Charit. Next, I would like to invite the National Director, Outgoing Global Teacher, Mr. Pasan Vijayawardena, to deliver his message to the audience. Mr. Pasan Vijayawardena, the stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. So I hope my sound is audible for everyone. Is that Samadhi?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for the feedback. So hello, everyone. So I'm Pasan Vijayawardena, Member Committee Vice President or the National Director in charge of this outgoing global teacher function. So I'll be responsible for this function till this not March actually, June 31st. However, I would like to say something about this outgoing global teacher, what we deliver, right? So I can see there are lots of people, around 100 participants are there. So I'm so happy about the effort put by the project committee, which is headed under the leadership of Charit Priyashan. Okay, so my dear fellow people, okay, my dear potential teachers in this world, okay, what is this AIESEC? What is this OGTE function, my dear? So OGTE, that means outgoing global teacher, is a one function to one department in AIESEC Sri Lanka. You know, AIESEC is a world-recognized organization which is available in more than 127 countries in the entire world. So we are here to send you guys to any of these countries that you would like to take these teaching experiences. Okay, so there are lots of people who have interned through AIESEC Sri Lanka, okay, and taken a very big teaching experience from foreign countries. So we would like to open the stage for such participants, such exchange participants, such past teachers who visited different countries and taken this teaching experience. So what are the benefits that you can take from this AIESEC experience? My dear friends, okay, AIESEC is a youth-run organization. We are here to ensure the career of you guys. So we are going to provide multicultural exposure. Suppose you are going to visit, or suppose you are going to take certain kind of experience in a country like India, or country like Malaysia, or country like Turkey, Tunisia, Cambodia, any country like that. So you will be going there. Suppose you are going to Cambodia, but you will be learning this teaching and you will be working in a multicultural background, multicultural working environment. Because, okay, even though you are going to Cambodia, you are not going to work only with Cambodian people. You will be able to work with American people. You will be able to work with New Zealand people. You will be able to work with Indian people. You will be able to work with Australian people. So like that, my dear, you will take massive opportunities to work at there and take multicultural exposure. What is the validity of this one? You will able to build a very good network with different parties in the world. Okay, so if you go to that country, definitely you will realize that you can build up some networks with American people. You can build up some networks with Cambodian people, Indian people, Afghanistan people, okay, Canadian people, like that. So through that network, then sometimes you can take the second internship in America, second internship in Cambodia, Canada, second internship in any other country. So that's up to you guys. Building networks, okay, is a kind of a good advantage that you can take from these AIESEC OGT opportunities, teaching opportunities. And you are going to work in a different country. So you will learn how to adapt to challenges, how to work in a different culture and everything. So this will be a marvelous CV value addition, my dear, because you can put, yes, work as a teacher in India in this school, work as a teacher in this school at Canada, work as a teacher in Sweden under this school, like that. You can put this in your CV. So when your CV when your CV is taken by an interviewer, then he or she will be impressed because of that marvelous working experience that you have taken in abroad. So my dear, working in outside is a different story. Working in a different culture, teaching for students in a different country is a marvelous value addition for your CV. So AIESEC is going to provide this marvelous opportunity. What's the beauty of AIESEC? We will be supporting from the stage of application till you come back to Sri Lanka, right? That's the beauty. We will be allocating buddy for you guys. Buddy, that person is known as EP buddy. That EP buddy from Sri Lanka will be responsible for your application process, approval process, visa process, and everything. He will be supporting for you, right? With regardless of the time. As well as that, keep in mind, you will be receiving another EP buddy from the host country. That person also will be supportive for you guys within the entire internship period. So the support and safety, don't worry about it. In future, we will be providing full remote internship opportunities for you guys as well. That means you can work in your home and you can take salary at home. Okay, so you can work for a foreign country in future. Right at the moment, we have semi-remote internship option only. That means part of the internship at home and the rest of the internship at abroad. So, however, in near future, we will be taking the full remote internship option also. Then you can work at home for entire period of time. Okay, but there are very big good experience can be taken from what physical internships as well. You have all these three options. So join with AIESEC. Okay, engage with AIESEC, okay, contact AIESECers and be with AIESEC. You will be realizing how this organization is really friendly and support you, as well as really wonderful in terms of career enhancement. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Pasanucci. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to the talk show Global Teacher to Be. Warmly welcome three panelists, Mr. Nilanka Suryampola, Country President 2019-2020, AIESEC in Sweden, National Director OGX 2018-2019, AIESEC in Sweden, National Director OGX 2017-2018, AIESEC in Sri Lanka. Also, Ms. Ranji Samarasinghe, teacher at Lyceum International School, and she had worked as a teaching intern at the JBCN International School, Parel, Mumbai, India in 2018. Ms. Jitvi Herat is an undergraduate in University of Jaffna. She was a teacher intern at the Orchids International School, Kurta, Mumbai in 2018. Again, we warmly welcome the three panelists, and I would like to remind all the participants to bring out their questions and doubts regarding our discussion today in the end of the talk show. You can send your question to the chat box also. Good evening, Mr. Nilanka.
Good evening. Is my voice level okay?
Yes.
Okay.
So, to start off our talk show, I would like to first know, why would you apply for foreign opportunities rather than working in Sri Lanka?
when it would be easier for me to explain while I'm explaining my past experience of working in Sweden. So I work with AIESEC, but I'll explain in terms of a foreign experience. So comparing a work experience in Sri Lanka or an internship in Sri Lanka to an internship in a foreign country, one of the few like starting with few advantages. The first thing is obviously Pasan also mentioned these things a while ago. The environment that you'll be working in. So when you start working, imagine getting selected to a job in Sri Lanka. Some of you might already have done an internship, some of you might not. So if you start working in a company in Sri Lanka, you will be working with people probably from a similar educational background, people from a similar environment, work environment. They have been in the same work environment, either senior people or everyone who joins with you, they'll be joining this similar work environment. And the chance for you to learn different things is very low, because they have been following the similar work method. The patterns have been similar for a long time. So if you join a local work environment where everyone is coming from a similar background, the way that you work is similar, so you will learn one or two ways of doing things. But compare that to a foreign work environment. For an example, when I started working in Sweden, I had a team of 7 people from 7 different countries. So for me, when I had to work with these people individually, I had to learn from the scratch how these different individuals think. And they work in a work in an office environment, they work completely different. Some people are very straightforward, they will prepare all the charts and details before giving you an instruction. But some people will have a very long conversation. I'm just giving examples, a very long conversation before going into a work environment. The way they build documents, the way they build let's say team meetings, the way they have team meetings are completely different. So when you compare working into environments like this, you learn a lot of new things in a foreign work environment, and some things which are completely new to your mindset. Because in Sri Lanka, let's say, you, like I said, you study and learn a few areas, but in a team as diverse as I mentioned, you'll be learning 10 different things at the same time. So in terms of learning, it's exponentially higher than an experience in Sri Lanka. Then in terms of challenges also, it's the same way, because you are going into a very comfortable environment. You can speak with anyone. The language is very similar. You can either speak in English or in Sinhala, and it's very easy to have conversations. You understand each other very well. The expectations that are from, let's say, existing people in the company and towards you are very are understood very clearly. But when you go into a work environment which is international or very diverse, this changes, because the expectations of people are completely different. If you are used to, let's say, sugarcoating things, if you're used to saying okay nice things and not giving direct feedback, some people might not like it in a foreign work environment. For an example, I had a friend who was from Russia in my team, and he used to like give very direct feedback. He doesn't hesitate at moment thinking that okay, this will hurt someone's mind or something like this, and they give very direct feedback. And for me initially it was a shock, because I was like, okay, is this person trying to have a fight with me? That this is my initial impression that I had, because it was different for me than what I was used to. And then I got to understand, okay, this is how they work in another country. Their expectations are different. They communicate differently, and this is just one example. And people from, let's say, Philippines, they have very different ways of having discussions or communicating with you. So I had to learn all these different methods, and these were different challenges than I would have faced in a local work environment. So few of these I would say are the differences of a local and a foreign internship.
Amazing. So with that, then I would like to go to Ransi. So why did you choose AIESEC, and was the internship worth it?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. So I chose AIESEC. First of all, I got to know it. Actually, it was a sudden thing that I did not know about AIESEC earlier. So I had no clue about it. I have heard of the word, but there was like I have not interacted with anyone from AIESEC before. So I have seen these stories from one of my friends in the university, and I got to know about these opportunities. So it was out of nowhere. I thought of trying something new. At that time, I was working in the same school that I am currently working. So I wanted a change in my life. I wanted to explore more. I thought I would do something better this time, because I was also fed up with the usual routine. So I got to know about this opportunity. So what the first thing I did was applying continuously to these opportunities. Actually, I did not have a clue that what I'm going to do. I did not know that I'm going to be chosen, right? So out of all these opportunities, I got selected to few, and it was it was a surprise for me, and it was a step-by-step process. So I somehow managed to come across this school, the specific school that I got selected to, and I got to know the background of it from AIESEC members. So actually, they are very supportive. Friend of mine, I got to know about AIESEC, so she was very supportive. So from the beginning to the end, that support was there. So actually, I was not a member at that time. I got to know from my friend.
Interesting. Okay. Now, I would like to move the same question for Jitmi. What motivated you to apply for an internship with AIESEC Sri Lanka? Jitmi, the floor is yours.
Hi. Yeah, hope you can
Hi.
hear me. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Yeah, actually, I'm totally agree with the Ransi. I had the same experience. Like, I was not an AIESEC, I mean, earlier. So, what I did was every day I was checking my WhatsApp stories, and there was one friend from University of California, and she was continuously posting about AIESEC. So once I met her, I asked, "What is AIESEC? I want to know." Then she explained me this thing. This is like that. Yeah, and then what I did was I saw there were so many opportunities. There are so many posters about the opportunities, global talent and volunteer. So I was willing to apply, but I didn't. I thought, no, I'm still undergraduate, so there's no opportunities. So I didn't apply. Then one day I thought, no, I should apply and check what will happen. Then let's try something. So suddenly I applied, and luckily I got selected for the first thing which I applied. This is the first and only thing which I applied through AIESEC. So if there someone who's thinking, no, there's no possibility to get selected by one chance, no, there is. Obviously there is, because it happened to me, so I know. And I need to explore more. I mean, I need to think about me twice. Like, I want to take someone out from my side. Like, see, we are in a comfort zone with our parents, family, and like that. So I wanted to try something new, without family, without parents, without friends. I wanted to try something new. So that's why I applied to AIESEC and to this opportunity.
Yes, exactly. So AIESEC provides many opportunities for the youth explore their professional as well as their leadership skills. So next, I would like to ask this question from Mr. Nilankar. Normally, how did the foreign experience change you personally? Because this is a good chance where we improve our skills and to recognize new skills. So how did this foreign experience change you personally?
Okay, yeah. So thanks again for the question. I think Jitmi mentioned it a while ago. For me, one of the biggest reasons to decide to go for a foreign work experience was to step outside of my comfort zone. Let's say, go to an environment where there is almost no support for you. This is what I wanted to go for, because as Sri Lankans, we are culturally used to living with our parents for a long time. Probably until we get married, we are, our parents help with most of our work when we are at home. So for me, I wanted to go outside of this. even to an area where, let's say, I wouldn't have any friends in that country. Because for me, that foreign experience was about completely rediscovering myself, finding new people, finding friends, learning new skills for myself personally. So one of the very basic examples is, let's say, for me personally, I wasn't able to cook before I went to my foreign experience. Nothing at all. So when I went there, I had to learn how to cook and feed myself, because no one else would do it for me. And all my household activities I had to learn by myself. These are like very basic things that when I'm living alone, I have my own space that I have to maintain by myself. These kind of personal skills you would rarely learn in a local experience, because you are in your comfort zone, you're living with your family most of the time. So this is one of the biggest things that I would put forward for you to grow personally, for you to learn what are your capabilities, and to develop personal skills that you would need in your life. Things like this is one of the areas that I found for me myself as one of the growth areas for me in my foreign experience. These things, like I said, learning how to cook, learning how to keep my apartment or my house clean, and things such as, let's say, if something happens with the electricity supply, I had to check all these things. To do taxes in that country, I had to learn these things, because I at one point I was doing a team leader experience in my foreign team. So for me, I had to lead the other team and make sure that they also get, let's say, for an example, they do their taxes properly. So I had to teach them, I had to explain to them how these things happen. So for me, that also was a learning process. These are some things that you probably wouldn't learn in a local experience, because most of these things are already taken care for you by different parties. Apart from this, I would say I learned how to understand, again, different people, since this program is focused towards teaching internships. In my experience in Sweden, I also got the chance to do, let's say, I was in AIESEC in Sweden, so I got the chance to do sessions to different kinds of people from very different backgrounds. In my audience, there would be people from 10-15 different countries, and for me, I couldn't do the same type of presentation, or I couldn't communicate with them the same way. So I learned how to understand facial expressions, words, pronunciation, accents of a lot of different kinds of people. And this is something that will help me personally anytime into the future, because I will obviously if I get to work with more foreign people in the future, and this experience will help me to understand them much better than someone who hasn't had this experience. Because even if you work in a local job for a long time, you will get the chance at some point to work with an international client base. And if you have this kind of an experience to the future, it will help you a lot. So these are some of the examples that I can think of right now. And yeah, so apart from that, I'd say most experiences are in a professional environment, as well, as I explained before. So yeah, that's it at the moment.
Exactly. Experience is the best way to improve ourselves. So, moving on to the second question, I would like to ask Ranzi, what were your expectations from the internship? Were you able to fulfill them?
Yeah, good question. So there were actually, as I said, it was unexpected, and I expected actually a worse scenario, to be honest, because the comments of adults about the country that I went, India, as you know, it was not actually really good. Everyone was scared of the cultural difference, and also the stories they've heard from media. So I also had a doubt, and I did not have so much expectations I would do that. I thought, okay, I will face this and I will see what is going to happen. But at the same time, the AIESECers, everyone behind me, they assured that this will be a good opportunity. Don't worry. If there is something, there will be AIESEC ones are also there in Mumbai. So I had that assurance when I went to Mumbai. So what I actually wanted to do is as same as Nilanka and Jitmi, to come out of my comfort zone. So I was here, I was growing up in Sri Lanka at my parents' house, and then studying here and doing the usual school job as a teacher. And it was so not exciting. It was not making me happy at that time. So I wanted to change, and I got it. And I thought that in the beginning it would be a normal average kind of experience, but once I went there, I have a lot of exposure to people. Oh my god, I cannot even imagine the things that I learned, especially the language. It was a huge barrier. The first day I went there, that I didn't know what to do, like everyone was speaking in Hindi, and the only person I met there was that AIESEC that I met in the city. So she was showing, okay, only word, the first word I learned is how much in French. And then wherever I go, I used to use that word. So it was not like easy, it was challenging, but day by day it got better. I have to say that I am a person here, I was not confident enough before I went to India. I was a normal average girl who went to be, I wanted to be a teacher in a normal school. But once I went there, I learned new techniques, new strategies, and they had training programs. Once in a while it was like not once in a while, actually, like quite often, because they were changing syllabus at that time. So it was marvelous. I changed as myself as a person. I became confident. I became smart, because we have to face the challenges alone. And it was a country where everyone had a doubt, will she survive? Yes, I survived. And it was to be honest, that was the best experience. And I don't even feel safe sometimes in Sri Lanka as much as I feel safe there, because the people there, they made the change, and they gave that strength and courage to be who I am today. I'm so thankful. It was beyond my expectation, actually.
Amazing. To discover ourselves, the best way is to take challenges. Exactly. So, moving on to Jitmi, I want to ask the same question from you. Okay, I think maybe a connection issue. Until Jitmi joins, we can move into the next question. So, Mr. Nilanka, so far through the experience that you have got from the foreign experience, would the foreign experience help if you plan to come back to Sri Lanka for a job later?
Okay, again, thank you for the question. So to answer this, definitely would be the easiest and shortest answer. So to give an example, I was in a discussion some time ago with including Miss Kasturi Wilson, if most of you would know her. She's part of HEMAS, I think. Yeah. And in her discussion itself, she mentioned that foreign experience is immensely valued in when they think of recruiting someone to a job here in Sri Lanka, because not a lot of people have this experience. It's rare to have a foreign experience. It's similar to how, let's say, the comparison of people having a bachelor's degree versus people who don't have a bachelor's degree, the comparison of people having a master's degree versus a person having the bachelor's degree. So this kind of comparison, and it's extremely a small portion of all these people who have a foreign experience. And this is a unique quality that most companies are looking into when they try to hire people. Because like, why do they look into this? It's because the solutions that people bring when they come back from foreign experience. The advantage that I mentioned in my first answer, I think are what they look for when they recruit people who have a foreign experience. Because Sri Lankan companies are trying to solve different problems right now. And most of these problems might have already been solved by foreign companies already, or they are trying to address these problems right now. So if you have experience in a similar...
I think due to power failure, Mr. Nilanka also left the meeting. Until he comes. We'll move for the next question. So, Jitmi, I would like to know, in a foreign internship, it's really challenging to manage everything because you said it's the first time that we get the chance to be away from our comfort zone. So how were you able to manage those challenges, especially in an unknown territory when it comes into India? It's like we have some kind of a doubt whether we are able to do it or not. So I would like to know were you able to manage this everything?
Yes, as I said, yes.
Okay, I think Mr. Nilanka is back again.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I think we got disconnected, but can I know was I able to at least answer partially, or was I completely disconnected from the beginning?
It's okay, Mr. Nilanka. You can continue from the place you stopped.
I am not sure where it got disconnected. So I'll can you,
it's about how that experience helped you within Sri Lanka.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, when coming back to a Sri Lankan work experience, most problems that are being addressed right now in bigger or smaller companies in Sri Lanka have already been solved by most companies outside of Sri Lanka, or they are being already addressed upon. So these kind of experiences will definitely make you the person who has answers, who's bringing in answers compared to other applicants, because they will also want to hear new ideas, new perspectives when they are trying to solve these problems that they're addressing, that they're trying to solve in these companies. That's one thing. And when it comes to work environments, they are, especially larger companies, let's say multinational companies, are trying to address problems such as, let's say, employee branding or diversity within companies. And most countries, again, outside of Sri Lanka, it can either be India, it can either be Indonesia, or it can be Sweden. Most of these countries are also addressing these kind of problems right now in all of their companies, either small or large. So when you get experience in a foreign environment, they have tried to address these problems to a certain extent, and you can bring these solutions to companies in Sri Lanka. Apart from that, let's say in terms of documentation or presenting different concepts to customers, clients, different foreign companies use, let's say, platforms which we have never heard of in Sri Lanka. Obviously, you can bring these solutions to companies in Sri Lanka, and these are the type of advantages that you can bring forward. Because what you need to, even in an interview, if you're a person who has a foreign experience, what you need to explain is, compared to the experience that a local candidate has, what are the exceptions that you have? And these exceptions you definitely get in a foreign work environment. And this is what you need to highlight when you are getting in, and you will obviously have a higher chance of getting into a local job compared to a candidate who doesn't have a foreign internship experience.
Yes. So having this kind of an internship, even in a foreign context, will add exactly a multi qualification for our CVs. So with it, I would like to go to Ransi.
Yes.
Ransi. So the same question I would like to ask again. How will you manage those challenges even in a foreign context, even in your internship?
As I said earlier, it was not easy in the beginning, but actually it is an opportunity. I don't take it as a challenge also. It is an opportunity to learn. So as everyone said, like, it is something that, gave me the knowledge on the day-to-day activities. Actually, yes, cook for myself, clean my place, and also interact with other countries or people from other countries, and especially work in a different environment. It is not similar because the teachers in the school in Mumbai, they had different set of rules and regulations. They had different syllabus. They have a different pattern of teaching. Because actually, what I understood was we are like in Sri Lanka, we are behind. Like we are not in even in that we have a huge gap between. So I had to climb few steps forward to come to that level. So the way that I accepted the challenge was that I always try to learn and also to get to know more people there. So they supported me, the people from school, maybe people from around, doesn't matter, even a tuk-tuk person. I just, there are Kali Pilis. So then I met these people, I talked to them, and I tried to be interactive at the same time, showed that I was not weak. I always showed that I'm confident. I know this because it's even though we don't know, we can pretend. Even though we are not, we can pretend. So actually, with that environment, there was a huge support behind from Sri Lanka. AIESEC, I actually made friends in with AIESEC, the ones who are AIESEC members. I have like best friends in AIESEC. I met them through this small process, but they became my lifetime friends. And even they are in India, they were checking on me time to time. Where are you living right now? Whom, they were not disturbing, but in a way that I felt protective. Like I felt that I'm secured. So overall, that challenge created an opportunity for me to learn things differently, look at things differently, and also be open up, spoke up. So it's amazing feeling actually.
Okay, it's very nice to listen. So Jitni, the same question. So when in your internship, what are the challenges that
Actually,
you had to face, and how were you able to manage them?
Yeah, actually, I'm totally agree with Ransi. I had to face the same things because even I went to India. So previously also I heard that India is not safe. The culture is like so framed, so you can't even go outside. Even like ladies can't go even outside. But the situation is totally different. But I had to face some difficulties. Actually, those are not difficulties. Ransi is correct. Those are like we were expecting that now because we went out from our comfort zone. So we need to face all those things. Actually, since the very first day, I had to face a lot of things. Like first thing was I landed to India around midnight, like 12 a.m. So totally the airport was empty. Then I had to find the to where to go to my accommodations, and I had to do all the things. Like those were sudden, and there were no one to help, and I don't know anyone. Like all were new, so since very first day it was a challenge, not a challenge. It was difficult for me, but I managed, however. And especially I should mention I was working as a teacher. Here I was an undergraduate. I had done some tuition classes, but not as a professional teacher. So I had to learn so many things, and the curriculum is different. The school timings are different. So I have had to adjust for all those things. Otherwise, it will be hectic. So especially I should mention the AIESEC from Sri Lanka and also from Mumbai. They helped me a lot regarding all the process. It's like I had to make a PAN card. PAN card means it's regarding the taxes and all. So in Sri Lanka, I haven't even been to any government office, but I had to go to government office in India, and I had to deal with those people. I had to do the documentations and everything. But from Sri Lankan ISAGs and all the EP buddies from India, they helped me a lot. They were behind me every time, and they helped me a lot. So I really thankful for them. And also I should mention my colleagues, like my school, other teachers, staff, principals, and everyone. They help me a lot because I'm outsider. Even foods are different food. So they help me a lot. They help me to manage. They help me to adjust. In working environment, people are like they are talking in English, so it's easy to manage, easy to. But when we are going to outside, the people from streets, the markets, shops, and those people, they don't know about how to deal with. When I'm talking, saying something in English, they sometimes they can't understand. So I had to manage. Especially, I should mention that when I had some friends from other countries. I mean, AIESEC, so they helped me a lot to adjust to manage, to do my things, and to learn the especially Hindi. My colleagues and other friends from outside, they taught me Hindi, how to talk in Hindi. So it was amazing. And I was teaching Sinhala to them. So it was amazing, amazing, simply amazing experience for me. And also, I'm not a like I'm pampered like from my home. I'm not doing anything. Like I'm not doing anything alone. All my mom is providing me this, that, mom, everything. But nobody is there. So I had to make my own foods. I'm totally agree with Nilanka. All the things which he said are totally correct, and I had to face the same things. But it was amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yes. After listening to those amazing stories, I'm pretty sure the audience desire will the desire will increase to go such kind of a foreign internship opportunity. So moving on to the next question, I would like to ask from Mr. Nilanka, what kind of interesting challenges that would you face even in your international work environment?
Thank you for the question. So when it comes to an international work environment, you would definitely have more challenges, let's say in the first 3 months, because this is when you start getting to know a different culture, getting to know a different country, different people. And this is when you face most of the challenges. Obviously, you would face challenges later on as well, but most of it would come in the first 3 months because you are getting adjusted to a new environment. So for me, in a work sense, some of the differences that I faced was in that culture. Where I worked in Sweden, and for me, in a work environment, I saw that they give a lot of responsibilities even to an intern, in not in a bad way, not overloading them, but they wouldn't consider smaller or bigger responsibilities when they are giving a responsibility to an intern. So this is something differently that I saw, because in a normal in the local context, if you think of a person who joins a company and their first 3 to 6 months in the job, they wouldn't be given a lot of huge responsibilities. They would be tested to some time, to a certain extent, before they are given new responsibilities. But there it's a little different, and people were given new responsibilities or bigger responsibilities initially itself. So this is challenging because you have to get to know the work environment and start performing very quickly, and that is what they expect of a person who joins a company. So for me, this was one of the challenges plus differences that I saw when I started working there. And they give you a lot of freedom in terms of working. They don't track you in a very detailed level. They don't track, let's say, there are companies in Sri Lanka plus around the world where they check how much time you worked in an office, how much time you worked on your computer. But this kind of monitoring is not there in most of the companies in Sweden. But they give you a lot of freedom, but it is definitely challenging when it comes to the work. Then more challenges came in terms of cultural differences for me, because let's say when it comes to when you set a meeting there, you have to you have to give priority to the time that you set the meeting, and they expect you to be on exactly the time that you set. Let's say you said, okay, I'm going to meet you at 3 o'clock. You have to be there at 3 o'clock, or they would get a very bad impression about you. And when it comes to the people, they are not in Sweden, they are not as I would say warm as people in Sri Lanka. They don't have a lot of conversations. I mean, if you're an introvert, then it definitely helps. There's no issue being in a country like Sweden, because they don't invade your personal space. But if you're a very outgoing person, you would feel, okay, I'm left alone. People are not talking with me. These kind of feelings you would get if you are a very outgoing and social person going to a country like Sweden. For me, I'm an introvert, so I didn't have an issue. But I saw a lot of people facing this challenge when they started working in Sweden. They felt a lot lonely. They didn't get a lot of energy from people. So this was a challenge that a lot of people faced when they started working there. The energy that you get from people are different. So this example was from Sweden, but it can be quite different in other countries. And another thing is when it comes to travel in Sri Lanka, we are used to let's say if you want to take a bus, we are used to a bus coming every 15 minutes or every 10 minutes. There's no fixed time for a bus to come. But in Sweden, it's completely different. They have, let's say, an app or a website where you can check when the bus would be there at the bus stop. And if you're not there at that very exact time, they wouldn't even stop the bus, even if they see you running towards the bus. And this happened to me a couple of times where I missed the bus because I missed it probably by a few seconds, maybe by a minute. And when I'm running towards the bus, they just go. They don't wait for people to get onto the bus. If it's time for them. So that is another challenge that I had to face. And of course, when it comes to distance and the people that you usually like, I mentioned that I challenged myself to go abroad because I wanted to move outside of my comfort zone, move, find new people, find new friends. But obviously, you still have to, let's say, talk to your parents, talk to your family, talk to your friends while you're abroad. And this becomes a little bit of challenging sometimes because either your work schedule is conflicting with the times other people are free, let's say, or you live in a completely different time zone. So these kind of things can be quite challenging when you're trying to communicate with your friends and your family in Sri Lanka when you're working abroad. So for me, these were the day-to-day challenges that I had to face while working abroad.
Okay, it's very interesting to listen to this story. Okay, so Ranzi, I would like to know, as a undergraduate, as a graduate and undergraduate who have already achieved your dream to have a professional experience in abroad, what kind of assistance did you receive from AIESEC?
Actually, it was a never-ending learning process, I would say. So as I said, it was not either I knew about the subject. Actually, at that time, I was learning. And it was an opportunity for me to learn better. And after I came to Sri Lanka, it was different. Working my experience about teaching and the other things related to teaching is actually career-wise, it is such an improvement for me. I got so exposed to the international, even though it is India, it was international curriculum and they followed international programs. So that I had that exposure when I came to Sri Lanka. It was such a difference. There, as I said, there was a huge gap. So when I went there, I learned, I knew only a simple things, simple techniques in teaching. But during that process, I learned a lot of things. I learned like to communicate with different people in official formal way. I'm talking about the children also, different abilities of children, and also different methods to teach those kind of things. I actually gained so much knowledge. Then I gained like 1.5 years experience in Sri Lanka within that few months. So it was it cannot be measured. This much I learned. Oh, that much I learned. This is what I learned. But I know exactly, I became very confident person, very confident teacher once I came back to Sri Lanka. Now today, I even practice the things that I have been practicing in India. It's like it's some simple thing. Sometimes I can even teach someone else, okay, this is the way you can do, you can use this the easiest way rather than the regular way. But maybe sometimes I also feel like we are not ready to accept some things from the international level. So that exposure, it should be needed for, I mean, at least once in a lifetime, if a person can go, it is not, it should not have to be a long period of time. Maybe even 1 or 2 months, if you can go to another country and experience that thing, you will realize that you are like a fish in a tank. You did not see, you did not see the world. You had so much to see. So what I'm saying, everyone here, since the purpose that of giving my knowledge to others, that try it at least for a short period of time, you will see the difference. It cannot be explained from a few questions or the answers. You have to experience it. You have to go for it, and then you will know what it is.
Really? Okay, Jitmi, so I would like to know from you, what kind of assistance did you have from AIESEC to achieve your dream? Jitmi, am I audible to you? Okay, I think she's having some kind of a connection issues. Okay, so as we have reached to the last question, I would like to know from Mr. Nilankar. So today the audience is consisted of those who actually willing to go to an abroad foreign experience. So what kind of a message do you have to give them?
Thank you for the question. Ransi actually in the last question, she gave a lot of examples on why people should go on a foreign experience. It's a chance that you probably wouldn't get if you don't take it at this point of your life, because you have the time, you have the capacity, and you have the knowledge, you have the freedom to take the option of going to a foreign country and working at this moment of your time, of your life. Later on, there might be complications, there might be people for you to take care of. So right now, again, this is a good time for you to take the decision to go, and you probably wouldn't get this chance later on in your life. So that's the first thing. And the experiences that you get in a different country definitely cannot be gained if you are just living and working in Sri Lanka. Even if it's one country, even if it's one internship, or if it's multiple internships that you want to do with AIESEC, you will learn new things every time you go to a new country. And it's not just going as a tourist. You just enjoy things that you see. There's no learning when you go to a different country as a tourist. You just enjoy things. You buy a ticket to and go to somewhere, and that's it. You take some photos, and that's it. But when you work somewhere, learn something for at least 2 to 3 months in a foreign country, you learn a lot of things that you would never dream of. It's as Ransi said, it's very difficult to explain things by words, the type of learning that you get in a foreign work environment, because it's different from person to person. The things that you learn, the people that you work with are different experiences. So if you want to have an experience that probably would be one of the best memories that you would have, it would be considered a life-changing experience that you would have in your life. This internship that you would take, the chance to work in a foreign country, personally, it's a point of development for you. As we explained in previous questions a couple of times, you will learn a lot of things that you would never learn if you just work in a local environment. So I would say these are the main 3 things that I would put forward. It's the right time for you to take this decision to go. You have the freedom. The experience that you would get, you would never get, in a foreign experience, you would never get, absolutely never get in a local experience. And the amount of learning, the things that you would learn, you probably wouldn't be able to learn anywhere else if you just continue to work in a local work experience. So I would conclude my answer that way.
Thank you, Mr. Nilankar. So, Ransi, the same question from you.
Yeah.
As one who has realized your dream through AIESEC, what kind of a message would you like to give to the audience?
Yes, and I already said it, and Nilanka made it better. So that is what I have to say. The thing that go for it. Until you go for it, you don't realize. And don't think of everyone's comment, because whatever the others say, you are the one who is going to face it. If you are confident enough to go and face the challenge, go for it. Because in case if you are unable to go and live there, you have that option to come back, because you are not going there as a person who is leaving the country forever. You're going for some period of time. So what I'm giving is that you will be thankful. You will be thankful, and you will be blessed with multiple opportunities that you will get. So don't miss the chance. Even though during this pandemic, after this pandemic, maybe you can try. If you are thinking now, during this time, it is a little difficult, not quite usual as the time that we were there. But maybe there are opportunities in most of countries. We are not we are just looking at a very narrow road. There are countries who actually they're safe now, so that you can try. There are not India, not Vietnam, not Sweden, no, Australia, whatever. You may have so much opportunities. Just check the website, you will see more and more. So what I'm saying is, just it is right time for you to do, because this age, it will not come back. You cannot get it again. So after these few years, you will realize, okay, I had so much also fun, and the knowledge. It's not only knowledge always, it's so much fun. Go for it.
Okay, exactly. So this age is where we find who we are. We explore what are the challenges that we have, through that we improve ourselves. So I'm pretty sure the audience will have their kind of desire to achieve this target as well as you. So we have reached to the end of our session, to Q&A session. So I have got one question from the participant. So I would like to ask it from Mr. Nilanka. How can an undergraduate gain this experience while studying in a university and going abroad for internships?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, surely. How can an undergraduate gain this experience while studying in a university and going abroad for internship? I think the question is when elaborating, the participant asking about can we go such kind of internship while we are studying as undergraduate?
Okay, so I mean, it depends on this question again depends on the type of university program you're in as well. So in some university programs, there is an internship as a part of the degree itself. So depending on the university and the degree program, you might be allowed to take a foreign internship for this internship itself. So this is a chance that you can take. Definitely check with your the administration whether this is possible, and if it is possible, and if you have an internship coming up later this year, probably you need to start applying right now. So that keep that in mind. But it's definitely possible if your university allows for you to go abroad for that time period. Some of the degree programs have it in the middle of the degree, which is, let's say, the third year, in between the third and the fourth year. Some of them have it at the end of the degree program. So depending on these kind of let's say conditions, you definitely have a chance to go to a foreign internship during your university degree itself. And there are no other restrictions that are put forward. Let's say for AIESEC itself, there is no restriction saying that you need to be a graduate or any other qualification is necessary. Obviously, for the job opportunity that you're applying, you need to have the qualifications for that. But for you to apply to a job opportunity itself, for you to apply for an internship, you don't need to have any fixed qualifications other than the language to communicate, mainly English itself. So I don't know whether I answered your question. If if it wasn't clear, or if I didn't answer properly, please elaborate a little bit more, and then I can go forward.
Yes, I think we got the correct answer for that. So we have, yeah, we got another question. What is the visa process behind that? So I would like to invite, Oshini to join with our second session to have a better understanding about that visa process and the other thing. So as we are running out time, I would like to again give a huge thank for our 3 panelists who joined with us today. Okay, so by remarking the ending of, yes?
No, I said thank you for inviting us to be part of this program.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
It's a great privilege for us to have you 3 here to give a better understanding about this OGT, especially teaching internship. So, dear participant, we would like to invite you to so the second session on 17th on Wednesday. So in that session, you will be able to have a better understanding about the questions that you have already asked from us in the chat box. Okay. So by remarking the ending of the Global Teacher to Be talk show, I would like to express my gratitude to the panelists again who participate today, even in their amidst busy schedules. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to the country president, Mr. Sisitha Gayara, country president-elect, Mr. Banuka Hathurusingha, National Director, Outgoing Global Teacher, Mr. Pasan Vijayavardhana, and all the national directors in AIESEC Sri Lanka who contributed their support to succeed this project. Also, I owe a special gratitude to Aditya Bemana and Lasidu Pramodya from the organizing committee. Last but not least, I would like to thank all the participants present here in making this event a resounding success. With that, I would like to invite you all to join us on 17th with the second day of Global Teacher to Be talk show. Once again, thank you. Signing off, I'm Samadhi Vijayatunga, the talk show moderator of the day.